The Christmas Wife is a 1988 film directed by David Hugh Jones. It's written by Catherine Ann Jones based on the short story by Helen Norris, and it stars Jason Robards as John and Julie Harris as Iris. The narrative itself is very slow, but kind of heartwarming. But it wasn't so much the narrative that kept me engaged. It was the character of John. I thought he was really, really likable. John has lost his wife 10 months ago, and he doesn't want to spend Christmas alone. So he decides to turn to advertising to find somebody to spend Christmas with. That sounds creepy. It's definitely not. It makes sense within the context of the story. And this is a woman called Iris. And they spend Christmas together. John takes her to the home that he built for his wife. And it's a beautiful space, a really nice setting for the film. The bulk of the film is set there. And it's basically about them spending time together, but mostly about John as a character, the emotions he is going through, and with the help of Iris, realizing where in the stage of the grieving process he is and opening him up to the fact that life is still happening. I didn't write it down and I really wish I did, but there is one moment in this where Iris points out that that's what she said. Life is still going on, and I didn't write the quote, and it was really beautiful. And I'm kicking myself for not doing that. But hopefully, if you watch it, you'll know which bit I mean. I think it was maybe towards the end, not 100% sure. But we had some really nice conversations between the characters. It's very, very well written. It is quite slow for the most part. There's not exactly a tremendous amount of action. We don't have that many key plot points. It is pretty straightforward though, and very sweet, very moving, not overly emotional. I did worry when I started watching this. Well, worry isn't the right word. I was expecting to become quite emotional and maybe even cry at this. And it definitely is emotional at times. It is a little heavy in places, but I found it to be more uplifting. And it's beautifully done. Yes, as I said, the narrative is maybe a little slow. It's maybe not the most detailed, but the characters, particularly John, Iris is a very well-written character as well, and great performances from both. But John in particular, I just found him to be so likable, and that's something that I really enjoyed, getting to know the character and following his journey and his emotions. But Iris was very nice as well. Do I recommend it? Yes. On the one hand, it's quite an easy watch. But at the same time, I guess if you allow yourself to become more emotionally absorbed in the story, it can be quite impactful as well. So I think, depending on what you want to get out of it, I think it could be quite an easy, comforting watch, or it could be quite in-depth and uplifting and motivational. And I think, depending on how much you want to dig deep into it, I guess, you can get something different out of it. Either way, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought The Christmas Wife was a really great story, but particularly with some really great characters. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but maybe one day I will, and I'm certainly happy to recommend it. It's definitely a film that I enjoyed.